What's up guys, Cliff here from the Sunday Drive, and today we have my 2012 Camaro behind me, and we're going to be going through what I think is the most annoying issue with the 5th gen Camaro. If you have a 5th gen for any length of time, this problem is going to happen to you. It may have happened to you already, but in today's video we're going to show you how to fix it and potentially prevent it from happening. So welcome back to the channel guys. Today's video is going to be on my 2012 Camaro, and if you've watched the channel for a while you know that we have this car, but if you're new to the channel you probably didn't even know that we had a Camaro. A few videos back in the day that we did on this, hoping to do more on this in the near future. I've had this car since 2012, I bought it new. I can't believe I already had it for almost 10 years, which is kind of crazy. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about what I think is an extremely annoying issue. It's already happened to me twice on this car. The first time it happened, I was very confused. The second time, I knew immediately what it was. And hopefully, with this video, you'll know how to fix it if it happens, and potentially you can prevent it from happening altogether. So I'm now holding what is a relic, the old GM flip key, or switchblade key fob. These have all been recalled, if you didn't know, because somehow people were shutting off their ignitions. I still don't know how they were managing to do that, but I have ignored all the recall letters because I like my flip key, or switchblade. So you'll notice I am pressing the trunk release on my car, and the lights are engaging like they normally would when you pop your trunk open, but the trunk is not opening. If we go inside and use the trunk release on the driver's side door, you'll notice it is still not opening. So the first time this happened to me, I was very confused, and what I tracked this down to is a wire that gets basically snapped off in the trunk, and I'm going to show you where that is right now, and you'll see this has happened again to me. So I did a really quick fix on this a couple years ago, probably honestly about 4 years ago, and it's held up for all that time, but it has once again failed. So let's get the trunk open. The way we're going to have to get in here is through the back seat. So very fortunately, you can release the back seat from inside the car. Now, if you have a convertible, I'm not sure how you would get in here, but I also don't know if this is an issue on the convertible. But on my coupe style 5th gen Camaro, it definitely is an issue. You pop the door open and move your seat forward. Open the back seat. You're just gonna pull this lever right here. Maybe GM knew this was gonna be an issue, so they had you release inside the back seat, unlike most cars where the release is actually in the trunk. Now once you have this flipped over, you're gonna have to belly crawl into the trunk, and hopefully you don't have a lot of stuff in here. The first time I had to do this, I had a full-size spare in my trunk, and it was very fun to work around. And you're gonna pull the emergency release handle. You'll notice it's already hanging down here because I had to do this the other day, but I didn't fix it yet because I wanted to show this to you guys. All right, so now that we got the emergency release popped, we can get into the trunk. You can re-secure that up in there like so. So this is the culprit right here, is this wire. And you'll notice that as we close the trunk, this wire starts to get pinched between the hood of the trunk and the seal right here. So I had quickly fixed this once before with a posi tap. This held up for about 4 years. I also have been driving the car a lot less in those 4 years because I've had the truck, but the way the posi tap works is it has 2 ends that screw together. You just strip the wire back a little bit and then feed it through this hollow part right here, and then you screw it down in here, and that locks it in place and connects it to whatever wire you're trying to go to. They also sell versions of this that are a T-style connector where it will slip over a wire, and then you feed the other wire in to splice a new wire into an existing wire. So I'll have these linked in the description. They are very handy, and I use them for a lot of things. But as you can see, this did eventually fail again. Now, I never extended this wire the first time it happened. So if you do have a failure like this, I would definitely suggest extending the wire so that you have a nice clean wire to work with that's gonna have some extra length. This wire was already compromised because of the original failure, and just over time it's obviously failed again. So what I would do if yours hasn't failed yet is inspect it, make sure that none of the wires are damaged. You don't wanna have a short here or anything that could spark like a fire. So you wanna make sure this is completely sealed and there isn't any damage on the wire. But I would completely encase this in very good either electrical tape or like a fabric tape that they have right here from the factory, and just keep an eye on it. If you don't drive the car that often, it might not be a problem. If it's just a weekend car, just carefully close the trunk. But if you're driving it all the time and constantly opening and closing the trunk, definitely make sure you insulate this extremely well so that if it does ever accidentally get pinched in here, it won't cause damage to the wire. So again, not sure if this is a problem on the convertible, and I don't know how you would get back here if it is a problem on the convertible. I'm not sure how the top folds up and closes in here. So definitely something to keep an eye on, but this has been a problem for me twice already. I'm gonna try to fix it a little bit better this time rather than the quick fix I did last time with the posi tap. But if you have a 5th gen Camaro and you drive your car at all, this is definitely gonna be something that happens to you eventually. So hopefully now you will know how to fix it, and hopefully it never happens to you now. So thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna have a lot more content on the 5th gen as soon as I stop making videos on my Silverado, but I do want to get back to making some content on here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you back in the next video.